Okay, what does your perfect day look like? And what does it look like for the whole world? On this second video series of 8, I'll lay out a foundational basics for Planet Project Perfect Days, or PPDayZ, if you will. And today, I must admit, has been a CDO kind of day. And for most people, that's OCD. As a side note, in the Minute with Mud story on PPDayZ 888 YouTube channel, I forgot to mention that my favorite cartoons of all time are The Avatar and Beatbugs. Maybe you'll see the value of PPDayZ, and maybe you won't. It's been 13 years in design and a long journey. But like I said, you can see more of that in A Minute with Mud, which was my nickname, on my channel PPDayZ 888. PPDayZ 888. So I had to write all this stuff down. I am challenged. So I must admit that yes, today is a CDO kind of day. And now, aside from my first video, this one might be a little bit longer and more important for explanation of what PPDayZ is. It's been quite easy to talk one-on-one with somebody, but speaking about it on digital land has challenged me quite a bit. And normally it's taken multiple conversations and digging deeper and deeper into the details of what it all entails for the average person to even be able to understand the complexity of it. Because this may be a big dream, but this one is a huge dream. Huge. Moonshot vision of what it means to create as much harmony as possible before I die again. So, PPDayZ or Project Planet Perfect Days, is meant to be an all-inclusive community place for anyone with life-affirming gifts, talents, dreams, or passion or purpose to add their own unique greatness to. A global game of life-giving life, giving life. After all, the world is supposed to be for us. The vision began around 13 years ago following a 4-day meningitis-induced coma upon return from the Burning Man Festival back in 2007. When I believe I became a walk-in soul or something like that. Because it was like I was a newborn baby in a 26-year-old body. I had to start all over. Originally, I was called to create as much harmony as possible before I die again. After months and months of asking, why should I live again? I knew I'd have to dumb myself down in order to come back into society when I was super enlightened. I mean, even when I was smoking marijuana for the first couple of times, I actually would eat it first, and nothing happened. And I remember a story of Wayne Dyer and how he gave one of his gurus some acid or something, and the guy was like, well, nothing happened. So yeah, it was kind of like that. Like I was there, and anything that I did would just limit my purity. So yes, originally I was called to do that, and I'm right now, the end of the year of 2020 with COVID and everything happening, I just refuse to admit to die without sharing this idea that's been a passion project that's actually kept me alive multiple times through my consistent suicide ideation that I've had since birth, probably. I attempted it the first time when I was 9, so yeah. Anyway, next page. The idea of PPDayZ is to reignite the currency of nature and in turn discourage the disconnecting use of fiat currency. Okay, that's one of the values. With goals to have no hierarchy, because we can, as a more conscious community of volunteers, light workers, star seeds, indigo, crystal, rainbow children, or alien whatevers, to put each other in check compassionately. So as long as there's a group that can say, wait a minute, no, there's a better way. I believe we could be better off than having a board members or some kind of hierarchy governance. I don't own this. This came through me. And now is time for me to just share it as me in a way. And then no financial profits, because every dollar invested into PPDayZ is used progressively and simultaneously to grow PPDayZ and its life-affirming effects. PPDayZ as a peaceful dismantling of outdated death-dealing systems, which would be the general gist of what PPDayZ would be. For more peace, more justice, more equality, and more sustainability globally. A new system for the new earth and a new normal for our future stories. As a game, a reverse pyramid scheme, someone once told me it sounded like, or a new governance, one time somebody told me that, run by the people, for humanity's sake, and our Mother Earth Gaia. For us, as is our interconnected all-togetherness that clearly exists caught up in needless separation, honestly. PPDayZ as a moonshot vision of a combination of a social, shopping, and infotainment sites, okay, the main areas on the internet that we even focus on online, and also an accountability fund. Live-coded, life-affirming, role-playing, win-win-win game of life-giving life. Most of all, the game of PPDayZ has got to be fun and feel good for the players. I mean, I'm not going to play this game if it's not good, if it doesn't feel good, if it's not fun. And if you look at most charitable organizations, nonprofits, or whatnot, I believe the backbone of that is to feel more alive while you're doing it. Also, little FYI, 1 divided by 0 is error or incomplete, or on my phone says you can't divide by 0. So that's what the Z in PPDayZ stands for, step 0, where it's balanced. The domain names say it clearly, to me anyhow. GHArmy.us, lifecouldhappen.shop, and harmonizerdie.life. Okay? Us, shop, life. Pretty basic. 3 in 1. With a Garden of Harmony account, or GHA, accountability fund, to collect all the proceeds and contributions. Like I said, there's zero profit, nobody's pocketing anything. That it's all a part of the growth and sustainability of this game. For players, or guardian harmonizers, I call the players, of a Good Hearts Army to give everything we reach, or give away every time we reach 100 million by turning those dollars into votes. Now, I'll explain GHArmy.us, lifecouldhappen.shop, and harmonizerdie.life, as well as the Garden Harmony account and the mastermind. So I'll explain that more in the videos 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and have more thoughts on those. Now, these are only ideas and suggestions, and are open to improvement, suggestion, and comment in an open dialogue provided in a GHArmy Mega Mastermind Alliance Cooperative, or GHArmy MMA Co. info and invite in video 8. So the last video will be an invite to those experts or those genuine people, authentic, with the authentic desires to make the world a better place, which there are so many. Also, another FYI, receiving $1 billion in funding, like a normal corporation or something like that would provide a business plan and say, hey, give me funding so I can build this. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work with PPDayZ because it's like transplanting full-grown trees and then calling it a forest. So it's got to come from somewhere. And I could, do the plans and ask, oh, well, fund me. No, it doesn't create harmony, if you understand what I mean. Like in this explanation here that's probably shows up backwards. I'll take a picture and show it. But it's Unite, Rise, Smile, Shine. This here, plant seeds, that's GHArmy.us. Grow the roots, LiveCodeHappen.shop. Fertilize the stem, or harmonize the die.life. And harvest the fruits, Garden of Harmony account, or GOHA. So that's kind of the cycle of this business model based on Mother Nature, which came about a year after my coma because I was in amnesia and recovery still. Very, very vulnerable. It's been 13 years, so I'm capable. The main point to this is that it's live coded. It's a different type of coding, which some people might understand. It's kind of fresh, yet it has the capabilities of adding multiple websites in the same infrastructure. It's kind of a gaming code mixed with a normal type of code, I guess. I'm not that technologically advanced. Real time, fully transparent. That means everything, every penny, down to the penny, down to who's what, where, all that kind of stuff. I want all the details listed because the accountability has to be there. Open source gaming interface, okay? An all-in-one combination of social shopping, infotainment, and accountability fund. Mutually beneficial and simultaneous use of proceeds with sustainability built into the gameplay. It's built in. Every action creates another action, which creates more and more and more harmony. Symbiotic relationship creation for more conscious consumers, life-affirming merchants, nonprofits, and for-purpose establishments. So all three of these connect in the way of unity, creating more unified consciousness. So peaceful dismantling of outdated systems and all that. Likes and hearts. I'll explain this a little more in the harmonize or die.life part, which is more of the statistical part of the game, where likes become likes and hearts, because there wouldn't be any dislikes, generally speaking, become a global voice, meaning the percentage of the population gets broken down into what's really like some posts will have thousands of likes and everybody's like, oh, I agree with that. But are those thousands of likes computed in percentage of global population? If you get what I'm saying. Like I said, I'll explain that more. All right, so where was I? Yeah, if somebody gives you, here's $1 billion, throw money at it, fix it. Won't work because you cannot build a sustainable situation on a shaky foundation. This has to start from the ground up by planting the seeds. All right, so, and also I like how Peter Diamandis, who started X Prize and Singularity University, helped with SpaceX with Elon Musk, and Joe Polish has the 100,000 or 25,000 mastermind group. A lot of influencers. I've had tons of influencers. I've been in research and development for all these years. And like even today, I listen to YouTube videos of all types on 2 times speed because time, right? 4th dimensional, non-existent time. Anyhow, he does his own version of Murphy's Law, which he calls Peter's Law. And the one that sticks with me the most is if you can't beat them, join them, then beat them. And that's why monetary value or cryptocurrency, blockchain, I'd like to see it that way, to become a part of it, but yet erasing the idea that money is important. And hopefully, and I've heard a lot from other people that the younger generations, millennials and whatever they want to call them, are less focused on riches and making money than actually doing good deeds, making the world a better place, living in a more healthy, sustainable environment. So I hope that's accurate. So essentially, PPDayZ is designed to be an umbrella. So in addition to any of these places out there, conscious consumers, life-affirming businesses, nonprofits, or for-purpose, social impacting kind of entities, under the umbrella of the game. To protect all persons, places, and things which are life-affirming, where competition becomes helping one another become better at what they do. Okay? Okay. So, so a guy named Bill Barton, who was from the 1920s, he was a legislator's son back in the days before all the hyper-normalization began in the 40s, who created the first advertising agency in America with a couple of partners, said, "I believe business will save the world." Now, I don't know about that, the way things are going and the way, big pharma and oil and these corrupted companies, tobacco industries, alcohol, those kind of things don't seem to be making the world a better place. But there are a lot of side businesses, there's a lot of privately owned businesses that do. So he says, yeah, I believe business will save the world. But a system like PPDayZ makes it seem possible. And I've mentioned in my About Me type of videos, and my mud-shattered operating system and all the issues and trials and tribulations I've had to go through, how people have said I'm onto something eventually. This has been in evolution ever since. And PPDayZ also has some previous videos from January of 2019 where I just was getting the courage to share this. Others have said, it's like you're competing with God, and I was like, well, like a whole new government, like a reverse pyramid scheme, like a lot of approval. People just tell me, do it. Well, one guy can't really do all of this, so I'll be reaching out with the invite to the mastermind. So, yeah, right now I'm just a one-man misfit, or a professional dreamer, I like to say. But I know I'm not the only one, like John Lennon's Imagine. You say I'm a dreamer, but I know I'm not the only one. And I've seen a lot of amazing accomplishments throughout the years. And now is the perfect time. I'm seeing all kinds of confirmation to, if I'd have started this stuff years ago, maybe it would have been accepted or gravitated towards to gain the traction and all that kind of stuff. Yet now I knew that it was going to happen in 2020. I didn't think the Rona would happen, but it did. And so I'm looking at 2021, I'm looking at 2022, I'm looking at it may take some time to build this. There are game developers that are doing virtual reality for psychological health reasons. There's a lot of mental health opening up. In fact, at the end of the month, there's Recovery Reinvented happening. I'm in Moorhead, Minnesota at this time, been about a year. The most stable I've been, my therapist says, in a year and a half. And the same place for a year, my own place. Yeah, so that's where I'm at compared to being homeless, running around. And if anyone thinks homeless people are lazy, try it. Okay, go be homeless and act like you're gonna not have to be moving around every day, all day to get your needs met. I did that on purpose, by the way, a year after my coma, because I didn't want to. I couldn't fit into the little town and the society I was in. They were getting me back into drinking and drugs and stupid stuff. So I was like, I'm out. And I was afraid at first to go homeless, but I chose it. And then a few years later, I ended up feeling really homeless. Like I was stuck. I was homeless. And then a few more years later, I became home free. Now, I am a minimalist and I can survive. I can do those things. In fact, only until the last month or two have I felt that I have a home here in my own little apartment. It's a home rather than a trap. Or the first couple months, I didn't even know what to do with this place. I was traumatized in a way, like just sleeping on the floor. My caseworker kept saying, well, somebody has a bed to donate, and I turned it down multiple times until I got my own, and I'm grateful that I did, because beds are always nice. Anyway, so while going through piles of notes, I found a kooky drawing of a tree, and that's right here. I know it looks backwards, but you got the roots, the stems, the leaves, the harvest, I have all kinds of notes that basically are relevant to go through. So, you can see the evolution of the previous videos that I did. I have those on the PPDayZ playlist on my channel, PPDayZ with a Z, 888, because 8s are my thing. I feel 8s represent infinity. There's all kinds of 8 octaves. Octopus have 8 legs. 8 minutes for the sunlight to hit us. Just tons of confirmations that 8s are relevant. So I chose that. $8 monthly memberships or sponsorships or referral partner situation with the financial aspect of it, which I'll explain later on in the further videos. And so it's based on a nature concept, natural progression and growth, and the building of a forest, I guess you could say, or a garden. I say it's like soul farming a garden of harmony. Hence the flow thing. And I'll take a picture of it in right format and share that too. I guess that's mostly what I have for this initial video. You have the basics. You have the us, the shop, the life, all the proceeds, any contributions from affiliate or commission, sales on LiveCode.shop, all of those things, and a portion of each membership from conscious consumers and life-affirming businesses or merchants, and nonprofits or for-purpose philanthropic contributions go into the Garden of Harmony account. Once that hits 100 million, the 100 million turns into votes, and the votes are split up in percentages to 60, 20, 20, to causes, education, back to the members, and progression and operation costs. And I'll explain that more in the further videos. So, I just wanted to take a brief moment to show you my humble abode, I guess you could say. So there's my dirty laundry, yoga mat, whatever. That couch there, I don't know if you can see it, was also donated. The bed and my outside, which I know it's dark, but there's the Red River is right there. There's usually deer and turkeys, and so I am totally blessed. I'm grateful every day. My top 3 values from the last time I went to mental health treatment facilities, Prairie St. John's and Fargo. There's Fargo Moorhead, right across the bridge is Fargo. I gathered from acceptance and commitment therapy this time, not CBT or DBT, is values and goals that got me back on track. And I do take Lamictal or something like that. It's an anticonvulsant drug for seizures and things instead of an antidepressant. I've been getting much more healthier, so I feel great. I'm going to be 40 on election day. Yay. But yeah, there's that. I have my cigarette recycling. I'm going to start a campaign for a million with the guy that starts a million cups in Fargo. And they do a lot of Up Foundation, to where you can recycle cigarette butts. In case anybody didn't know that that's possible, TerraCycle.com is where you get that from. I got this and put it up for the Eye of Ra because the first dollar I spent after my coma was in a thrift store in Valley City, North Dakota, the Ark thrift store, and I purchased a necklace with the Eye of Ra on it and a shirt that said Unlearn. No, it was spelled wrong, but I guess it was a band from Fargo, I found out later on. And I was like, okay, I went and spent $1 on novelty items, and I kept that necklace for a good 10 years until I lost it at a place called Harmony Park, which I was fine with. It was time to let it go. But I remember walking down the street, looking into the window, seeing all these things that people think makes them better, which I just couldn't fathom. And then when I would exchange the dollars or the money for every time I purchased something, I felt wrong about it. Like that was a disconnect. So that's the idea behind PPDayZ, as well as the idea that feel-good acts or random acts of kindness not only help the person giving them, the person receiving them, but they also give a burst of serotonin and oxytocin to anyone watching it. I mean, anyone who watches a kindness or harmony act on Facebook or any video or movies that make you feel good, the events and the activities, all of them in PPDayZ need to be aligned with creating more harmony. I have shirt ideas. The first one that I thought of is Be You to Full. So BEUTOFULL. So Be You to Full. Also Distant Traveler, which is kind of a reference to a Mike Love song. Reggae, Mike Love. Thank You for Your Smiles. All those things with an I am on the back. Maybe a part of a logo. If you could see here, this is kind of the logo that I'd like to use. I call it my happy, healthy heart. And you can't buy your way into this. The idea is to prove yourself through the training, the initial garden, the harmonizing seed quest, I call it, where you sign the crescendo, PPDayZ crescendo, that lists the values and what you stand for, what we stand for. There's 8 one-ups and 8 let-goes. So acts of kindness, maybe volunteering for an hour, picking up cigarette butt. Those things are undetermined. That's why I'm looking for the correct group of people and other light-working people that would like to help create this co-creation. So yes, a collaboration, but more so cooperative situation. So that's why I call the mastermind group, GHArmy Mega Mastermind Alliance Cooperative, to help me facilitate the details. But okay, so 8 1-ups and 8 let-goes, which was inspired by the 8 1-ups, like Mario Brothers getting a 1-up extra life, and let-goes meaning like I stepped on Legos one day and was like, ouch, let go, let it go, let it go. And so like that. And then finding a sponsor that will do the $8 a month for that person because they believe in them. So in essence, that creates the harmonious connection between those people. So you can't just go $8 a month out of your own pocket. You have to actually show that you're a guardian harmonizer or someone who wants to see the world a better place. And so that's $8 a month for conscious consumers and nonprofit for-purpose places. And then for businesses, it's $88. And the breakdown in the simultaneous use of funds is $5 of that money goes into your Life's Happening account for purchase of items on LiveCode.shop. 2 of those dollars go into the Garden Harmony account, directly into the Garden Harmony account. And 1 of those dollars goes into operation costs, like fees, PayPal fees or whatever. And for businesses, it's 55, 22, and 11. So that's kind of the idea. You can't really sponsor business, but life-affirming people that would be doing the affiliate sales for would. I'll explain a lot more of this, a little more in detail in the further videos, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then 7th for the extras, anything I think of there's extra. And then for 8, I'm going to do the invite for the crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, team building kind of situation. I hope that I've explained it enough. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Everything we do already aligned in a life-affirming way under the umbrella of a game for 8-year-olds and up, I would like to be. Virtual reality situation where you're showing things. There's 8 separate different timelines, topic specific, and live coded. That's one of the most important parts of how this can all work out in a structure, to where each website is interconnected on a gaming interface. So you're playing a game while you're doing your social shopping and info, that like good news and arts and environmental help and heart-based comedy, those things. I'll share a lot more on the further videos. This has been a longer video, but I hope you've gathered enough to understand that you too can do your addition to this. This isn't a fixed situation. It's an infinite game, as Simon Sinek, who just came out with a new book about the infinite game, about businesses that don't have an end goal in mind. It's an ongoing, evergreen situation. I'm going to list clarifying videos and proof of concept videos and some of my favorite influencers in a description below this video. Check them out. I appreciate your time. Peace, love, and affection.